Hello there, everyone. I am Jen Laffin. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to try this again. I just tried a different live event and I got a lot of feedback on the audio. So I ended that and I'm starting over. No problems whatsoever. I'm so glad you are here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jen Laffin. I am a Chief Momentum Officer for Women Business Owners, which basically means that I help women business owners move out of avoidance and into action because that is the gap where success lies. So, today I wanted to talk to you about something that I'm seeing a lot of people experience. I have experienced it myself in the past, and that is when our businesses get stalled and we tell ourselves that we need more strategy. We need to try different things. We need to take a workshop. We need to read another book. We need to hire a sales coach. And what I want to say about all of that is strategy is probably not your problem. What your problem is that you're not taking action on the strategy that you have. So that is what we're going to talk about today. So you, my friend, already know what to do. You are very intelligent. You have bought the courses, you have read the books, you've worked with the coaches. And like I had said earlier, the problem is not knowledge based, the problem is action based. And knowing something and trusting yourself to do it are two totally different things. They require two totally different skills. And a lot of people aren't aware of this, especially those who are coming into the entrepreneurial world from being an employee. So, strategy answers the question, what should I do? Okay, what should I do? That's when we need to go looking for strategy, when we don't know what to do. Self trust, which is something I teach my clients all about, comes from answering the question, will I actually do what I know what to do when the time comes? Will I actually be willing to take action? Because self trust is that inner knowing, that inner belief that you know that you will follow through on on your word, on the promises that you make to yourself. And that is often what is missing when clients come to me and they feel stalled. They think they need more strategy, they need more tips on how to do things. And I just don't think that's true often. What I think is true is that we need to take a look at where their self trust is and we need to fix it starting there. So you can have the best plan in the world and still stall out if you don't have that self trust. And that is what I want to talk about today. So every time that you make a plan, every time you put something on your to-do list every week and you do it, what happens is you are making a deposit in what I call your self-trust bank. And that self-trust bank is like an internal register that keeps tracks of how many times you do what you say you're going to do. Now, the opposite is true as well. Every time that you tell yourself you're going to do something, that you're going to launch the offer or you're going to make the sales pitch, and then you don't do it for whatever reason, whether it's procrastination or whether you tell yourself you need more information, what happens is you end up making a withdrawal from your self-trust bank. And your confidence is keeping track of those things. It's keeping track of whether or not you are doing what you say you're going to do. So when it comes time to do something big and something maybe a little bit more challenging than you're used to, it goes and it checks the balance in your self-trust bank. If there's nothing there, it shuts you down. And that's where growth stalls. So that kind of erosion in your self-trust bank, it compounds over time, over time, over time. And we are coming off of a certain time of the year, being summer, when we maybe let some things slide. And now it's time to get ourselves back on track. So as you are bringing your business back around and you are getting yourself back on track, I want you to remember you quite possibly don't need more strategy. You need to work on your self-trust. Strategy often becomes a hiding place for a lot of us, especially for us high achievers who have made learning part of who we are. I mean, we pride ourselves on being lifelong learners, and we always have something in our to be read list or in our to be read pile, or we are cruising through Substack looking for ways to add more tools to our toolbox. But that strategy becomes a hiding place. I recently had somebody in one of my groups tell us that this week what she was going to be doing was attending another workshop. And I asked her straight out, "What is the workshop for?" And she said, "Well, it's because I've always wanted to learn about such and such a thing." And I said, "Okay, well, then tell me, how are you going to apply what it is you're learning?" And she couldn't answer me. And so what happened was she was able to see how she was using learning as a hiding place. So taking time to do your research is important, but there's a very good chance you already know the answers. So I want you to keep that in mind, that every time you tell yourself you're going to take another workshop or sign up for another course, read another book, ask yourself, how am I going to use this information? Because if you are not going to use it, it is a hiding place for you. And that is why your business stalls out. And this is where self-trust comes in, because taking that information and actually applying it is what moves your business forward. Because as you do, you are building more confidence in yourself that you will do the things that you say you'll do, that you will apply all of this incredible learning that you've had towards creating bigger things for your business. Now, how do you build more self-trust? Quite easily by taking action and by following through, not from gathering more information. Every time you make a commitment to yourself that you're going to do something, I want you to really focus on that. I want you to really focus on seeing that through until the end, because every time you do, you are making a deposit in your self-trust bank. And every time that you don't, you're making a withdrawal. Start to keep track of that bank balance. Now, many people are trying to solve a self-trust deficit by adding more and more strategy upon an account that is already overdrawn. Don't do that. Work on seeing through the things that you say you're going to do and watch how that changes business for you. So I had said earlier that we are coming off a time of the year, summertime, where some of us maybe let some things slide into the background. And as we are moving through the month of August, it's time to start thinking about bringing those things to the forefront again and making them important priorities for ourselves. And if you see yourself in that, if you see yourself in someone who maybe has been taking out of their self-trust bank instead of depositing into it, I have an opportunity for you this September. I am going to be offering a very special self-trust challenge. I'm calling it the Self-Trust 30/30 Challenge. And what it is we are going to be spending 30 days in September making 30 deposits in our self-trust bank, rebuilding our belief in ourselves, rebuilding that trust that we have in ourselves. And I want to be very clear. I am not going to be teaching anything during this challenge because you don't need more information. You need to start acting on the information that you already have. So if this challenge sounds like something that you need that can help you get your business back in line and head out of the year on a strong note, I would really love to have you join us. You can find the information about that challenge at jenlaffin.com/self-trust. And I'll also leave the information about the challenge in the notes after this live. All right. If there are any questions, feel free to send me a message. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And I hope that this week, as you move through the week, you are going to be keeping an eye on those deposits in your self-trust bank. And every time your mind tells you that you need more strategy, I want you to stop it and think about, no, what you really need is more self-trust. go take some action. See you soon.